50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Ooh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 361. Today is Saturday, January 27th, 2024. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me on the other side of town, we got our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. How you doing this morning, kid?
So I'm doing great. You know, it's a little bittersweet just because there was Championship Sunday. Well, tomorrow will be Championship Sunday. So it's just been a long, great season, Dale, and it's just slowly coming to an end. Even though we still got basketball, things are starting to heat up and whatnot. But after tomorrow, Dale, I'm just slowly going to start getting sad. And then, next Sunday's going to come around. Well, 2 Sundays from now. I don't give a fuck about no Pro Bowl. 2 Sundays from now, things will look on the bright side, Dale. But after that, let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about it.
It's bittersweet. I got my coffee in my hand. It's a little cold out in the morning, if I'm being honest, over here. But bittersweet football. It felt like it takes forever for football season to get here, but once it's here, it flies by. So we got to appreciate it. We only got 3 games left if you're not counting the Pro Bowl, but we got a lot to talk about. Some NFL coaching hires, some NBA news. I actually want to start with the NBA. Like Elvis said, Championship Sunday. We got AFC. I will be there in the bank, rooting against Taylor Swift and all the Swifties in the games. The NFC, we got the Lions on the road in Santa Clara taking on the 49ers. And we got a big NBA slate as well. We got 10 games on the slate, but Elvis, this whole week in the NBA, just everyone is just putting up numbers. I mean, yesterday was 4 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years since the legend Kobe Bryant had passed away. And it seemed like everyone was trying to show out last night. You had Devin Booker, 62 with an L. Not that impressive. But Luka, he stole the show last night. 73 points, 10 rebounds. He even had 7 assists as well. They get the win on the road against the Hawks, 148-143. Luka Doncic, 4th all-time in most points per in a game. Obviously, you have Wilt with the 100 score. Kobe Bryant back in 06 when he had 81. Wilt had 78. He's 3rd. And then Luka tied with David Robinson and Wilt. Wilt did it 2 other times. In 62, he had 73. And then David Robinson in 78 had 73 as well. Luka, man, what do you got to say? He was on one last night.
Still, like you said, players just, paying tribute to Kobe, and the best way they can is fucking drop buckets. What Luka Doncic was able to do in Atlanta last night was just flat out special. Still, at one point in this game, Luka was 23 for 26 from the field.
Yeah,
let that sink in. He was 23 for 26 from the field. I think at one point he was like 8 from 11 from 3. That's efficient, people. It's not like he was putting up, 50 shots to get there, Not to diminish Kobe or anything, but Kobe took a lot of shots to get to 81. My man Luka was kind of efficient when he did it, so that was impressive. And still, the quiet part to me isn't it ironic that he did it against Atlanta, the team who drafted him?
Mm-hmm.
Just 4 years ago, and he did it on Atlanta on Kobe's anniversary deal. That's just, you can't make things like that up,
No.
So it was just flat out special how great Luka performed yesterday, and like I said, and how efficient he was, and still he was able to still get double-digit rebounds and damn near get double-digit assists with 7 assists. He wasn't ball hogging. Yeah, he probably forced a couple of shots, but he still led his team to victory, still dominated the game while taking over it at the same time, Dale. And, Devin Booker, give credit Devin Booker, have another 60-plus point game. He had the 70, I think, a couple years ago, Dale. And I think that was on a loss as well. Give credit to Devin Booker. His idol was Kobe Bryant, you always looked up to him. All his shoes, PEs, are basically Kobe expired shoes. So, give him credit. Didn't get the win, but still, at the end of the 62-point performance, 62-point performance. I understand we've been getting a lot of them as of late in the past week or so, with Joel Embiid, 70, Karl Anthony Towns also getting 60 plus in the loss. But still, we can't take nights like this for granted, even though it had two players happen to go for 60 plus.
And Luka did it on 70, almost 76%,
Mm-hmm.
75.8% from the field. He was 25 for 33. At one point, like you said, he was perfect from the field. I mean, he was just fadeaways, jumpers. He was getting to the line as well. He shot 94% from the free throw. He had 16 free throw attempts. They could, even when they were fouling him, they couldn't stop him as well. So just spoke. He got to the cup at will whenever he wanted, and it was one of the best performances I've seen in a while. You love to see it. Like you said, Devin Booker, he had another good game. But even though they have like those big games, it means more when you win, in my opinion. You can't have 60 with a L. Like where was Bradley Beal? 12 points.
Mm.
Kevin Durant only had 20. Eric Gordon only had 14. They don't really have depth. So, like, if one player goes off, for example, like a Devin Booker, they still are not going to be able to win. Like, and Indiana's a good team. Don't get me wrong, but they got it from everyone. Pascal Siakam had 31. Andrew Nimhart had 22. Jalen Smith had 13. Obi Toppin off the bench had 23. So they got it from everywhere. I really worry about Phoenix is a good team. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll make the playoffs. The star power at top is really good, but they don't have any depth outside of that. Like, are you worried that even if a KD or a Devin Booker goes off for another 60-pointer, are you still worried they might not win these games?
Still, to be honest, a little, definitely just because you lost to the Pacers. Pacers is a good team, though. Dill. Let's just be
But
honest.
they have one of the worst defenses as well.
Absolutely, Dill. But they're a high scoring team, and it's gonna be. It don't matter if you put up 60. He could have put up 65, 70. Dill. It's gonna be hard to outscore the Indianapolis Pacers. So against, I'm gonna say 60% of the league, Dill. That performance gets the job done. Let's just be honest, still. 60, a little more than 50% of the league that gets the job done. But Pacers are a good team. Some of these top 5 seeds, top 4 seeds, you could go off and you can still catch an L. Think about not to refer, but like think about it. LeBron was averaging damn near 40 points, triple doubles, and still lost the finals. So one person could go off by all means, but is that going to result to wins? Devin Booker could go off for 60 all he wants, though. That's the second time he lost when he scored 60 plus points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what worries me about this team. So, like, I know they could score. The offense has never really been the issue for me with Phoenix. It's honestly been their depth and their defense. I don't think they really put an emphasis on defense, if I'm being honest.
And not for nothing, though, that's why they moved away from Monty Williams and brought in a guy like Frank Vogel, who's a defensive-minded coach. Remember, people, last time Frank Vogel coached in the NBA, he led the Lakers to a championship who had the number 1 rated defense. So that's why they brought in Frank Vogel to fix that side of the ball, Dylan. Like you can see, we're damn near February, and they're still not getting the job done on that side of the ball.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but big nights for everyone. Like you said, big week. Joel Embiid had 70. Karl Anthony Towns, he went under the radar. He had over 60 points as well. Anthony Simons had a huge game. He had 40 as well. Everyone was showing out. Donovan Mitchell had 32. A lot of where's the defense gone in the NBA? That's what I miss.
You know what it is though? This is like what's the word for it? I can't even think of the word, but it's that time frame between, the bad part of the season right before the All-Star break. Everybody just wants to get to the All-Star break right now, Bill. So do they want to play, do they want to sit on the chair and play the high intensity defense, or they just want to make it to the All-Star break, relax, and then make that playoff push after? I think that's what you're seeing right now, Bill, and that's why you're seeing all these high scoring games, because everybody's just trying to make it another 2 weeks to the All-Star break, Bill. Well, 2-3 weeks, and then make that playoff push healthy together.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the All-Star because the 2024 starters for the East and the West have been announced. For the East, Giannis is the captain, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Therese Halliburton, it is in Indiana, and Damian Lillard for the East. For the West, the captain is LeBron James. You also got Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I know I'm going to be a little biased here, but Jalen Brunson got snubbed, man. I mean, Damian Lillard is a good player, but he's just not having a better year than Jalen Brunson. Damian Lillard, 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He's shooting 42% from the field. If you compare that to Jalen Brunson, I just don't want to go based on numbers, but Jalen Brunson, 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 48% from the field. So, besides the rebounds with just one more rebound than Jalen Brunson, he has better numbers than Damian Lillard. Obviously, Damian Lillard has a better team, but I would say Jalen Brunson means more to the Knicks than Damian Lillard. Without Damian Lillard, they're still a really good team. Without Jalen Brunson, the Knicks are a bad team, like a really bad team. So that's what I'm saying. I just feel like it it's the hype around the name. It's Damian Lillard. That's the reason I feel like he got in compared to a Jalen Brunson. Am I far-fetched or am I off base on my opinion?
Absolutely not, Dill. I agree with you 100%. Damian Lillard, he's all-time player. Definitely, he's a top 75 player, first ballot Hall of Famer, most likely. Don't get it twisted. But, Dill, not so many people can make the case that Damian Lillard is having a better first half than Jalen Brunson. Dill, like you said, you know, Jalen Brunson is leading his team. He's the MVP of his team. He's the top dog. Dame still got, not to call him a sidekick, but he's the second option on the Milwaukee Bucks. The first and second option for the New York Knicks is Jalen Brunson scoring the ball and then passing the ball. So, I agree with you 100%. Jalen Brunson did get snubbed, but let's not forget this is a fan pick,
Yeah.
type of thing. So who's more worldly known? It's
Of
Damian
course,
Lillard, Joe.
Damian Lillard, yeah.
Let's just be honest, And at the end of the day, one thing that I don't like about the NBA All Star voting thing is it's more like a popularity contest. It's not like what have you done for me lately, So I agree with you, Dylan. Am I upset about it? No, not really. Should Jalen Brunson be upset about it? Maybe a little bit, Dill. But at the end of the day, they're all stars. To me, well, both of us, we just agree Jalen Brunson should have been named the starter. That's all. But at the end of the day, Dill, Damian Lillard is the more popular, notarized player. That's all.
Yeah, he is a reserve, but it's just the fact that I think he's played well enough to be a starter. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
And I think I feel obviously a little more about it because I am a Knick fan, but I don't know. I think this is just 2 years in a row. Last year he did enough to be an all-star, didn't get even in the reserve. So now I don't know. It's just unfortunate. And then on the other side, a lot of people were saying, "Where's Steph? Where's Steph?" And Steph he's just having a down year. He's still having a good year. Like he's averaging 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He's shooting 45% from the field, but SGA, he's averaging 31 points per game. That's third in the league. He's averaging 6 boards, 6 assists, and he's shooting 55% from the field. That's top 15 in the league. I mean, he's just better right now. And I understand a lot of people love Steph. He's the best shooter of all time, first ballot Hall of Famer. But right now, SGA is playing better than him. And we just saw what Luka did last night. So, like, I understand the argument for the West a little more than I do the East.
Dill, I'm gonna just shut down the West thing. Dill, Luka Doncic and Shai Alexander deserve to be the starters for the Western Conference. Dill, Shai, as of right now, like you said, averaging 30 plus points a game. He has the best record in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
He's tied with the number 1 seed in the Western Conference with the Minnesota Timberwolves still. And then Luka Doncic still. Luka is Luka. By all means, Steph, you're having a great season, but you're not having a better first half than Luka Doncic. Let's just be honest. And Steph, you're 2 games out of the play-in. Nothing against you. I understand Draymond had his incident, whatnot. If Draymond didn't get suspended, your record most likely be better. I agree with that 100%. But Steph, you haven't been playing at an MVP caliber level. And, Luka and Shai have been. Shai he might be in the MVP conversation
Yeah.
come April. Like all seriousness, Steph, you're not. Excuse me. By the way, Steph, I picked you to win the MVP this season. I did that. And people who know me knows I ain't the biggest Steph Curry fan, but I just thought, hey, you know, the team is getting a little older. Steph needs to put the team on his shoulders. I think he can average 30 to 32 points a game this season, and he clearly hasn't been. So, does he deserve to get snubbed? Absolutely. Do people have the right to be mad about it? Yes, just because it's Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, arguably one of the greatest point guards of all time. But there's no debate. You could tell me that he's having a better season than Shy or Luka Doncic. That's just impossible.
Yeah, you were right. You know, they're sitting at the 12th seed, 19 and 23. They're not even in the play-in right now. Houston Rockets have a better record. And like you said, OKC, they're tied with Minnesota with the number 1 seed. So I think that adds just another layer to the argument. And I was looking while you were talking the MVP the current MVP odds. Obviously, Joel Embiid is favored right now,
Yeah.
plus 160. He's the best player in the NBA right now. The way he's playing, he's unguardable. Jokic, plus 260, and then third is SGA at plus 400. I mean, he deserves to be right there. And I don't even see, no disrespect, but I don't even see Steph Curry up here.
Is Anthony Edwards top 5? I got him a sprinkle on MVP as well.
Anthony Edwards is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Damn, that's a damn shame.
80 to 1.
That's a shame, bro. Honestly, put a sprinkle on it, man. They got the tie with the best record in the NBA. He finished the top 2 seed, averaging 28 plus a game. It has to be in consideration.
So top 5, Joel Embiid, plus 160. Jokic, second at plus 260. SGA, third at plus 425. Luka at fourth with plus 500. And then Giannis, 11 to 1 at 5. So that's the current MVP odds right now, which I think are understandable. Maybe some are a little outrageous, like you said, Anthony Edwards, 80 to 1 is crazy with his team being tied for the number 1 seed. Let's say in the NBA, some news around the 3-point contest. Some cool competition, you know, a 3-point shootout between Golden State, obviously Stephen Curry, and WNBA star Sabrina Ioska, the girl who's just automatic.
Nah.
So she plays for the New York Liberty. Her shit is just insane. She has the gun as well. So it'd be cool to, you know, compare her with Steph. I want to see how that goes. Do you like that?
Yeah, dude, just because, you know, I know a lot of people have seen like her highlight reels, you know, her viral moments on like Instagram or Twitter or whatnot. Still, I think it'll be closer than anybody expected to be. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll give her a chance to even beat Steph. And you know, it all depends, you know. It's not gonna be, you know, like they're getting defended. It's just a 3-point contest. She could win a 3-point contest. An in-game situation, I'm gonna take Steph. But 3-point contest, she's live. You know? She's live.
I mean, if you saw the performance she put on for the WNBA All-Star Weekend, she didn't miss.
Yeah. She's literally one of the best shooters in the world, boy or girl. Like, all seriousness, she could literally stroke it.
Pause. And anyway, if she came into like an LA Fitness and people like looked at her because she was a woman, she's shooting all of them out of the gym. I promise you that. But yeah, that's all I got on the NBA. Let's go to the NFL real quick. And then, of course, as soon as we end on Wednesday, what happens? Jim Harbaugh accepts the job. We were hinting at it throughout the week, maybe week and a half. He leaves the team up north. He accepts the job in LA on a 5-year deal. After 9 years up there in Ann Arbor, Jim Harbaugh's time there, it was his alma mater as well. It was his dream job. 89-25 record. In the last 3 years, he was 40-3. He won 3 straight Big Ten titles. He was Coach of the Year in 2021. And then to top it all off, he won the national championship last year. And let's not forget, he spent 4 years in San Francisco as well. And his record there, 44-19 during that time. He went to 3 NFC championship games, and he went to a Super Bowl. I hate to admit it because I don't really like the guy, but he's a fucking winner no matter where he goes, whether it's college, whether it's the NFL. And I really think maybe in 5 years, the Chargers are going to be in the AFC Championship or get to the Super Bowl with him.
5 years? No, I'll give it less. I'm going to say 3 years. They're in the AFC Championship game. Maybe even 2 years from now, Dill. what Jim Harbaugh represent, like you said, the guy is just a straight out winner. In 4 seasons he went to the NFC Championship game 3 times. In the midst of all that, he made a controversial quarterback change mid-season and bring it in starting Kaepernick, and there they took off.
Yep.
We all know one thing in this league: you need to win, and it's a quarterback. And damn, Jim Harbaugh has himself a top 10 quarterback. It's just, can he turn that defense around? They have the Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, uh, uh, what's the Asante Samuel Jr. You got some pieces on the defensive side of the ball, Dill. It's just, can they stay healthy and can they come up with the right game plan to slow down the loaded AFC West, Dill? Because it starts in the division, Dill. You're gonna have to go through some great coaches and quarterbacks just to make it alive in that division, Dill. And year in, year out, he's gonna have to at least split throughout or win most of the games in the division, Dill. You got to play Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid for the next upcoming years. He got to scheme against that offense. Raiders ain't going nowhere no time soon. They live. And then Sean Payton, no matter what, Sean Payton is going to dice something up. It's just, who's going to be the quarterback moving forward? Is it going to be Russ or somebody else? So I think with Jim Harbaugh, and the Chargers, they're destined to do something special. It might just take a year or two, but I won't say 5 years. I give them a little sooner than that. And I think it was a perfect hire, just because we already know what they could do on the offensive side of the ball. They got Kellen Moore, who's a proven play caller, I want to say he's the best, he's elite, but he's proven play caller, We could all trust that Kellen Moore could trust and run an offense. It was the defensive side of the ball. It was those bonehead decisions. It was those third and fourth down bad decision makings that held this team back, especially the last year when they made the playoff run up 27-0, by the way, in Jacksonville. Jim Harbaugh doesn't lose that game. A guy like Stanley will. So I just feel like it was a match made in heaven. Good job for the Chargers on taking their time and getting their guy that they wanted, And I'm just anxious to see what Jim Harbaugh will do with this team, not in 5 years from now, just in the next 2-3 years.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm happy for Justin Herbert. I'm a little higher on him than most quarterbacks or most people. He finally gets a great coach. And I think the way Jim Harbaugh builds his teams, whether it was at the 49ers, whether it was up in Ann Arbor, he builds it through the trenches. I feel like he's going to win up front. He's going to get them more physical, and they're going to win at the point of attack. And they're just going to play smash mouth football. And that's what the Chargers need at this point. They were a little too soft and a little too of a finesse team, for my opinion. Jim Harbaugh is going to make that team old. And coincidentally enough, the Chargers play the Ravens next year. He wants a little payback for that Super Bowl against his brother, but he made a joke. Yeah, he made a joke after winning the national championship. He said, I can finally sit at the big table. Dad won one. My brother won a Super Bowl, and now I won something as well. So now I can finally sit at the big boy table. So he made it like a joke. But, I'm happy. Like you said, it's a match made in heaven. I thought this was the best job on the market. They got their guy. It was their number one guy that they wanted since they started. And now look at the new AFC West and all the hires. Obviously, Chiefs still have Andy Reid. Broncos still have Sean Payton. Chargers have Jim Harbaugh. And Raiders have Antonio Pierce. So a lot of new, fresh faces in the AFC West. I'm excited because look what towards the tail half of the season, Raiders look pretty good, I thought. Chargers, they're going to be good with Jim Harbaugh. Chiefs, they're self-explanatory. And the Broncos, we'll see. We'll see with
they're
what
going to be
happens.
good. They'll remember, they went on that 5-6 game win streak. They started off the season a little rough. Not a little rough, absolutely rough. And then, they turned it around. They had a pretty good season. Not for nothing.
Yeah, Joey says in the chat, if John Harbaugh wins the Super Bowl again, he has once again won up his brother. And I agree. And I think he's going for that big Lombardi this year as well. And then speaking of the team up north in Ann Arbor, they got their man 2 days after Jim Harbaugh went to the NFL. They promoted the offensive coordinator / offensive line guy, Sharon Moore, the head coach Moore. He was the guy who took over when it was the self-imposed suspension for Jim Harbaugh. He went unbeaten during his 4 games when he replaced Harbaugh in the season. He got a 5-year contract from the university. It starts today, January 27th, and ends January 30th, 2029. You think it's the right fit for the team up north?
Yeah, I think it's a good fit. He's in system. He was coached under Harbaugh, so he's going to be very similar doing things. The only difference, still, I can honestly say is, besides pedigree and the X factor and being Jim, is that he's like you said, he's more of the offensive guy. Jim is more of the defensive guy.
Yeah.
So is Michigan still going to be a top? Last year they were number 1. The year before that, I think they were number 2 or 3, top 5, top 10 defense for the next 5 years. That I would like to see. I'm not sure about that. With Jim Harbaugh, we knew year in, year out, Michigan's gonna recruit the top defensive players, and they're gonna have a top 5, top 10 defense year in, year out. Now, switch it to more? Do they lose some of that and gain more offensive threat? Who knows, Dill? But I think it's the right hire. It's like like we hired Jerron Mayo, Dill. It's in system. He knows what's to call. He knows the familiarity with the higher ups and everything. And Dill, like you said, he took care of business when John was, let's just say, on vacation. He took care of business when John was out of there. He knows of the players. He knows the stats. Probably met with all the recruits already coming in. So it's not like they want to transfer or hit the transfer portal right away. So I think it's the right hire. Is it the perfect hire? Probably not, Dill. But as long as it can still be a top 10 defense and improve the offense, I think it'll be the perfect hire.
Yeah, I still think they're going to be relevant, and it's all going to come down to can they beat Ohio State? Because last 3 years, Jim Harbaugh beat Ohio State, and that is their number one priority. But it also
took Jim like 5 years to do so too.
Yes, I agree, it did. But last 3 years have been tough for me. But I think it's the right hire. Jim, he vouched for him. He said, "Listen, if I do leave, this is your guy. Look what he did when I was quote unquote on vacation." But he is the guy. I think he knows the university really well. I just can't say the name. It like hurts.
Dill, come on.
No, I can't say it. But shout out Sharon Moore. He does deserve it. 5-year contract, so they are giving him some time. Another hire, Panthers are hiring Bucs offensive coordinator Dan Callis as their new head coach. 6-year contract. Dan Callis, and remember last week we talked about Panthers hiring Dan Morgan as their new GM. Dave and Dan, the 2 Ds, they spent 8 years together in Seattle from 2010 to 2017. Now they're reunited. They're going to serve as that new head coach GM combo. Apparently, he crushed the interview. They looked at a couple other candidates, but apparently Dave Canales, he crushed it. And, the job he did with Baker Mayfield in that Bucs offense when, a lot of people didn't expect him to do all that much this year. I thought it spoke volumes. And, and I know a lot of people don't like the Panthers job, but I don't think it's all that bad, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I just feel like with the job, you don't have a top pick, even though you're the worst team in the league because you traded away last year. I think that's what kept a few people away, knowing it's just a straight rebuild for next year, absolutely, or 2. But Dill, I think it was a great coaching hire. Shout out them for getting the deal done. Dill, one thing I can say, I understand some people be like, "Oh, why you didn't hire this guy?" They didn't hire that. Well, this guy, guess what? He helped develop Russell Wilson to a Super Bowl quarterback. Look what Geno Smith looked like before he went to Seattle. He helped turn Geno Smith have his best career year 2 years ago in Seattle. And guess what? He left Seattle, and guess who else he makes have the best career year of their life? Baker Mayfield, Dill. So to me, it was a great hire. It was the right hire to develop a young quarterback, Dill. Once again, Geno Smith had his best season 2 years ago. The guy transferred to Tampa, starts calling plays for Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Baker Mayfield has his best season of his career, wins the playoff game, and wins the division. So if I'm sitting back as a GM, as an owner, I'm scouting. I'm like, who has developed a quarterback the most and best as of late? It's this guy. I'm going to just be honest. You saw back-to-back seasons, Geno have the best season of his career, and you saw Baker Mayfield have the best season of his career. If there's one guy that could honestly turn Bryce Young around in just a year or 2, it's him. Yeah. It's him. So it's a great hire. I understand he's not a family hold name. Chill. I don't even know his name like that, to be honest. But from hearing and searching up what he's done, with Russ, with Geno, with Baker. Hey, if I have a rookie quarterback who had a down year and I want him to be better next year, I'm gonna hire what Ben Velasquez,
No, Dave Canales.
Dave Canales. Great hire,
Yeah.
Dill. Not the household name, but for your rookie first year, well, second year quarterback, this is who you want to help develop him.
Yeah, it speaks volumes of what he's been able to do. He's a winner. He's won in Seattle. And they asked Geno Smith, they asked Baker, and they've said glowing things about the guy. They said, look, he's the man. And you're right. If they want to turn Bryce Young around because it was not a good rookie season, granted, he didn't have the most help, but a lot of things were controllable in his sense. I think Coach Dave is actually going to put him in the right position and kind of develop into having a better sophomore season. So I agree. And, they're going to be on the same page with the GM, with Dan Morgan. They spent 8 years together in Seattle. They won a Super Bowl together. So I think, I think they're going to be on a line with drafting the right players on the same page. And Dave Tepper, the owner, he has billions of dollars. They're going to go and spend a lot of money. So
I just hope he don't get ahead of himself, though, and just start firing the guy after a few games or a year. Just because he's still paying Coach Frank Wright for 3-4 more years, and I'm pretty sure he's still paying
They don't care though. They don't
what's
care.
What's that guy's name? He coaches Nebraska now. John Rule.
Matt Rule. Matt
Rule. He's still paying Matt Rule and Frank Wright.
I mean, the guy before this, he was a Wall Street guy, and he has a lot of money. Like,
I understand, but still, at the end of the day,
I know, but these billionaires, they don't give a fuck. I
know they don't care, Dill, but it's not right.
I know it's not right, but if you're Matt Rule and you're getting two checks coming, one from Nebraska and one from Carolina.
No, I ain't mad at them. Shout out the coaches to getting that money, collecting it, but at the end of the day, no man should get fired. 8, 9 games, agree. 10 games into his 4th, 5.
But I will say this: they are committed. Like, Dave Tepper is committed to winning. I know he's a new owner within the circle, and apparently in owner meetings he speaks out and he speaks his mind. Like, I'll say this, and yes, he threw a drink on the fan. I'm not condoning all of that, but like he is committed to winning.
Yeah, he wants to win.
He wants to win, and I think he's going to put Carolina on the map, and I don't think it's going to take as long as a lot of people are expecting. And I appreciate, if they're not doing it his way or the right way, he's going to can them. We need people that are going to be in the building that are winners, and I think that's what he's getting with this combo with Dan Morgan and Dave Canales. But as of right now, the head coaching cycle, you got Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers, Antonio Pierce with the Raiders, Gerard Mayo with the Patriots, Brian Callahan with the Titans, Panthers. You got Dave Canales, like I just said. Falcons, they hire Raheem Morris. Only 2 teams left, and we'll talk about the Falcons real quick. You got the Redskins and the Seahawks. And last night, Cowboys, DC, Dan Quinn, he got a second interview with the Seahawks for their head coaching spot. It looks like it will go there. You like that fit for Dan Quinn? Because if I'm Seattle, I'm looking at that last game where they got blown out. I'm sitting here like, I don't know.
Yeah, Dill. Yeah, but at the end of the day, who was the defensive coordinator during the Legion of Boom era? It was Dan Quinn. It was Dan Quinn, Dill. He could work a defense. Can he lead a team? Remember, he led a team to the Super Bowl with a 28-3 lead.
Yeah.
He happened to blow it, but he did that. We got to give him credit for getting the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl and beating up 28-3. His defense blew it, absolutely, but at least he blew it to the greatest quarterback of all time. He didn't blow it to, like, Nick Foles, or somebody like that. Still, to be honest with you, I think it's the right hire. At the end of the day, he's been there. He's familiar. He got his boy Bobby Wagner calling the plays as the middle linebacker position. He got familiarity there. At the end of the day, who are you really going to hire? You're going to go hire Bill Belichick, though? Are you going to hire Mike Vrabel? Me, personally, I go grab Mike Vrabel over Dan Quinn, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, Dan Quinn knows the owners. He knows the front office. He knows the staff. He's been there 5+ years, a couple of years ago, Dill. So I just feel like it's a better fit for Dan Quinn But to me, who's the better coach? It's Mike Vrabel.
A lot of hot names on the market. So, like you said, you got the greatest of all time, Bill Belichick. You have Mike Vrabel. Even a hot name that I know that I've been hearing a lot, Lions OC Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
People love him. I think he'll get a job eventually very soon. But I did mention real quick, I glanced over it, but Falcons, they did hire Rams DC Raheem Morris as their head coach. Raheem was with the Falcons interim head coach in 2020. Now he becomes their full-time coach. It's so crazy because they wined and dined Bill Belichick. They got twice. They interviewed 14 different head coaches. Bill Belichick twice, Mike Vrabel. They interviewed Jim Harbaugh as well. But Raheem Morris ends up getting the job. He returns to the NFC South, where he was once the head coach in Tampa Bay as well. You like this fit for Atlanta?
To be honest, still, it's a good fit just because, like you said, he was an interim head coach there. He knows the division well, like you said, coach in Tampa. He's not a first-time head coach. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't have the best record to show for it, but it's not his first time in the rodeo, Dill. And let's just be honest, Dill. Like you said, he's a wide receiver coach, offensive mind coming off Sean McVay. Dill, he's gonna help develop that offense. You got, Bijan Robinson. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts. Everybody's under 26, 25 years old, Dill. So you got some time to build with that young core. It's just they need a quarterback, Dill. So, they're gonna have a top 10. I think they got the 8th pick, something like that. Will they move up, 8th. draft the quarterback? Will they trade it for somebody? Will they try to, sign a Kirk Cousins or somebody like that? Who knows, Dill? But I think he's the right man for the job just because he's been there and done that before. He's coming off a great offensive mind and McVay, and I think he can honestly help this team. And like you said, though, he coached this team before, so Arthur Blank, the front office, they're already familiar with him. And another main reason I think it is, he wasn't trying to control the team. Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, they want to have full control. Maybe not full control, but the buck stops in their desk. Whoever we draft in the class, I check a go. Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, they want to have a say or the last say. Maybe Raheem Mostert, I'm not saying he doesn't have full control. All I'm saying is they still have a general manager in position. They still got this guy in position. Still got this team president. If Bill Belichick is your head coach, you don't have a general manager. You don't have a team president. You don't have this. Bill Belichick is doing all their jobs. They can still have a job. They just won't have that title because Bill is doing everything. So I just feel like it was a perfect fit just because Atlanta ain't want to lose complete control to a guy like Jim, Mike, or Bill.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and that's what I was going to bring up. Arthur Blank, his son, is getting more involved in the team as well, and you're right. When you go in, I just don't know how Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel will go and handle another guy drafting someone. It's going to be like, no, I'm going to draft the offensive guard from North Dakota. That's what Bill Belichick's going to say, and what are they going to say? No to Bill Belichick? That's the thing, and I don't think. Maybe that's where they didn't really line up because they'll figure out the financials. That's not really the issue. It's like control. And I think Raheem Morris will allow the GM to be a GM and you just coach. Worry about me. I'll draft. I'll set the contracts up. You let me coach. And I think you're right. I think it was a good fit for Atlanta, and Arthur Blank got their guy, Raheem Morrister. So shout out him. I'm glad he got the job. Only 2 remaining GM spots left. You got the Chargers and the Patriots. I'm interested to see where the Patriots go. Interested to see where the Chargers go with who they're going to pair up with Jim Harbaugh. But like I said, Panthers, they got Dan Morgan. Redskins got Adam Peters. And Raiders got Tom Telesco. So only a few more. We only got 2 more head coaching jobs in Seattle and Washington, and then 2 general manager openings in Los Angeles and in New England. So we'll see. It'll probably come in the few days. But Elvis, before we get into Championship Sunday, let me tell you guys about our sponsor, Viva Tequila Seltzer. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with the active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the Chiefs-Ravens game, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Championship Sunday. We will start in Baltimore at the bank. The Ravens hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens laying 4 at home. Minus 198 on the money line, plus 164 for the Chiefs, plus 4 for Patty Mahomes. Over under is at 44.5. Elvis, we will start with you. You taking the plus money with Patty Mahomes, or are you going to take Lamar Jackson? Biggest game of his career.
Dale, I tell you what, this is going to be a great fucking game. I tell you that. The bank is going to be rocking. Patty Mahomes and company. You got Travis Kelce saying that he wants this one more than ever. I wonder why. Maybe he's flirting with retirement with his big brother. Not to push things, but Dill, this was a tough one, Dill. I ain't gonna lie, Dill. And with that being said, give me the Kansas City Chiefs plus the 4, Dill. I gotta take the points in my back pocket with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, Dill. No, I do like Baltimore to win this game, dude. I'm not saying they're going to lose this game. All I'm saying is they're not going to win it more than by 3 points. Patty Mahomes is going to do what he got to do. It's going to come down to a late game-winning drive. Somebody's going to have to give a game-winning drive in this game, deal. Is it going to be Lamar? Is it going to be Patty Mahomes for like the 12th time? Deal, in this situation, I love the Ravens. Their defense, I saw it in person last week. Their defense, especially in the second half, was a no-fly zone. I saw Patty Mahomes able to drop back peacefully. All he wanted in Buffalo. Got sacked 0 times. I don't think he will get sacked 0 times. I think he will get sacked multiple times. But when it comes down to it, when the rubber needs to meet the road, Patrick Mahomes will answer the call. Travis Kelce will pick up and answer the call. Isaiah Pacheco will run through a brick wall if he has to, Dill. Like I said, I'm not saying the Baltimore is not going to win this game. All I'm saying is it's hard to bet against this Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the plus for the Kansas City Chiefs, Dill.
Yeah, I like I said earlier on Wednesday's episode, I took the Ravens at the opening number at -3. It's gone up to -4. I'd still lay it if I'm being honest. I just think the Ravens are the much better team. Chiefs, they've played well. Like I said, I've given them credit the last 2 weeks. They've actually put it together. They've gelled. They've played a complete football game on both sides of the ball. I just think the bank is going to be rocking. This defense is going to be after them. And I think the key to the game is I can't wait to see the matchup between Spagnuolo and Lamar. How are they going to blitz him? Are they can't blitz him as much as Houston did because he will just eat up the defense. That is my one concern. Can the defense, they are getting Marlon Humphreys back, so a little boosted to their secondary for the Ravens.
And Mark Andrews is back.
Is back as well. So I don't know. All signs are pointing to the Ravens. I just think this defense is going to make enough stops on Patty Mahomes. It's just Patty Mahomes. That's the thing. You're getting plus money with Patrick Mahomes is so fucking tempting. Even me as like a fake Ravens fan, like I don't know. I can't do it though. I think this offense, I think they're gonna run the fucking shit out of the ball too. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna have a good time or an easy time stopping the run. I don't know. I just think the Ravens are the much better team. They're the more complete team. And you were talking about Travis Kelce. I think if Andy Reid goes out there and wins tomorrow and wins the Super Bowl, I think he's gone. I think he flirts with retirement as well. So watch out for Bill Belichick to the Chiefs because why not? If you give Bill Belichick Patty Mahomes, that's so bad for the AFC. I'll tell you that much. But that was like one of my I was looking into the future because like Andy Reid's done all he could do. Like, he's a
Yeah.
first ballot Hall of Famer as a coach. He goes out there and wins another ring. I mean, there's not really much for him to do anymore.
He
but
could try for the three-peat.
yeah, he could.
He could try for the three-peat now.
But I don't know. I just think the Ravens, everything is pointing me to it. You got fucking all the legends, Jonathan Ogden, Anquan Bolton. You got Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Michael Phelps. You got everyone, and you got T-Pain at halftime. I mean, it's gonna be rocking tomorrow. I can't wait. It's gonna be my first AFC championship game. I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be a cold, rainy one, but yeah, I like the Ravens. As for player props, give me Lamar Jackson over 10.5 rush attempts as well. This checks all the boxes for me, this one. Like I said, I just think the Ravens are going to be able to run this. Like I said, this is also Lamar's biggest game of his career. Everyone loves to talk about his playoff record. If he gets this monkey off of his back, I think this is going to speak volumes to how much he's grown. He's gone over this number in 3 of his last 4 postseason games. We saw an uptick in design quarterback keeps and runs last week. They only averaged 4.4 per game, but last week they averaged 7. So going against the Chiefs, who we know Spagnuolo likes to pressure the quarterback. They pressure the quarterback second highest rate in the league. That's just going to lead to more scrambles, in my opinion. Willie Gay, they're going to try to contain him. He's a game time decision. I don't know if he's going to. That's good. That's asking a lot for a linebacker to try and spy all game on Lamar Jackson. So the Chiefs, they've allowed a lot of rush attempts versus mobile quarterbacks. Josh Allen had 10 plus twice. Jalen Hurts had 12. Justin Fields had 11. So it's going to be a rainy, cold day in Baltimore. I just think the Ravens are going to be able to control the ball. Give me Lamar Jackson over 10.5 rush attempts. I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco over 14.5 rush attempts. He's just a trigger man. I love this guy. He runs so hard. I don't understand. How many weeks in a row have I gone to this number? How many?
4?
3, 4. I think in the season I hit it a few times as well. I just don't understand why this number is so low. He's gone over this number in 7 of his last 8 games, including both of the games in the playoffs. And I just think the Chiefs are just going to continue to ride the hot hand in Pacheco. He is obviously the best running back Mahomes has ever had. So as long as the Chiefs keep it close, which I do think they will keep it close, Pacheco should have more enough volume. So I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco over 14.5 rush attempts. Any player props for you this game?
Dill, I have one. This is going to be out there. You're not going to like it. But I have a feeling this guy is due for, I'm not going to say a huge game, but I think he catches 3 balls for over 50 yards. Dill, give me Odell Beckham over 20.5 receiving yards. Dill, he only caught 1 ball last week, I think for a first down. I think it was 10 yards.
Yeah,
I think he gets 3 balls for over 50. I feel like he gets 1 for like 20, 30 yards, and then 2 first downs still. For the Baltimore Ravens to win this game, Odell Beckham has to catch a few balls still. Like Joey just said, he is the X factor. I'm not saying he has to go for 120 and a touchdown. All I'm saying is he has to at least get a couple balls and over 50 yards, and he will be able to make some noise. Because, Odell, as soon as you start feeding him, he gets in his zone. He starts dancing. He goes moonwalk on you. All I'm saying is don't let him get hot.
All right, let's go to the NFC game, which I think will be a good game, but I do think the marquee game will be the AFC game. Let's go out to Santa Clara. The 49ers hosting the Detroit Lions. 49ers laying 7 at home. Minus 325 on the money line. Plus 7 for Dan Campbell and the Lions. Plus 260 on the money line. Over under is at 51. Deebo Samuel is active. He will play. Didn't really move. I do see 7.5s out there. So it was smart for us to say to wait if you do like the Lions. But I grabbed it earlier in the week. As soon as the Lions dropped last week, I got the 49ers minus 6.5. I think they're going to blow them out, if I'm being honest. I think this is a huge bounce back spot for them. The defense is good. We'll see how good and how much pressure Aiden Hutchinson will be able to get on Brock Purdy. I just think at home, this is going to be a huge bounce back spot. Everyone thought they should have lost last week. I think with Trent Williams, Debo coming back, and Christian McCaffrey, little hint, he is really good at football. He's just really fucking good at football. He got George Kittle as well, Brandon Cooks. You even saw Jennings come on last week for them in a big-time spot. I just think the 49ers roll in this one. I don't think the Detroit Lions defense is good, especially in the secondary, and I think they carve them up, if I'm honest. I like the over as well. I think we see a shootout. I think Detroit will be able to score on the 49ers as well. I just think the 49ers are really good. So I'll lay the points here with the home team.
Dale, I have 3 official plays for this matchup. Dale, I'm not laying no points or taking any points. I stood away from the side. To be honest, Dale,
if you had to pick
with the points,
yeah, or just on the side,
49ers. I won't lay the 7 though. I won't lay the 7 just because. Dale, I agree with you a little bit. This game has a chance of getting a blowout. I don't think it will be, Dale. But one thing that sticks behind my mind is, remember when the Lions went to Baltimore? Remember that first half they didn't get a first down. They were down like 20. And then remember Thanksgiving, the Green Bay Packers was up 24-0 at halftime against the Detroit Lions in Detroit.
Yeah.
We saw the Green Bay Packers. I'm not going to say, stud, but just had 49ers on their heels for the entirety of the game. I just seen Detroit Lions lay a couple eggs this season. It was just too bad to look away. As of late, do I like the Lions plus a 7? Absolutely. But has it been times this year when the Lions just simply didn't show up? Absolutely. So I feel like in San Francisco, it's going to be good weather. It's just going to be hard for that defense to slow down Brock Purdy in that offense. They average I think they average 31.8 points at home. Yeah. No bullshit. I think that's the exact number, 31.8 at home. And they're fully healthy. You got the 24th ranked defense in the Detroit Lions coming in. We know about the beef, CJ Gardner-Johnson had with Deebo Samuel in the season. Now that matchup is coming back. Still, it's going to be a great game. But with that being said, give me Deebo Samuel over 45.5 receiving yards coming back from injury. Remember, people, it's a shoulder injury. His legs are fresh. He basically had 2.5 weeks off because he didn't really play week 18. He had a bye week, and after the first quarter, not even the first, after 3-4 minutes in the game, the start of the game last week, he was out. So his legs are the freshest it's been since week 1 of the NFL season. Let's just be honest, people. His shoulder, he'll be all right. They're going to give him some pain meds, whatever. He's going to be good to go. I think he breaks a couple of tackles and gets over 45.5 in the first half. Give me Deebo Samuel. Anytime touchdown. He's going to get it running or in the passing game. I think Deebo Samuel is heavily involved in this game. We saw them struggle last week, especially in second quarter, third quarter. They finally got it going in the fourth quarter offensively. We know what Deebo Samuel represents with this offense. He's one of the best dual threats in the league. And I'm with you. Give me the over 51.5. I think San Francisco gets to their around the season point total at home, which is over 30 points a game. And I think some way, somehow, the Lions get to around 20-24. I think San Francisco wins this game 34-24.
Yeah, I love the little beef between CJ Gardner-Johnson and Deebo, and you saw Deebo come out and say, "Hey, you can do all the talking you want. You're gonna have to come here and bet and have the
stand on business."
Yeah,
Deebo's gonna run him over. I'm telling you
exactly.
right now, Deebo's
gonna go right at and see what's up. So I can't wait for that matchup. I got Sam Laporta anytime touchdown plus 187. I love Sam Laporta. It's one of the best stories of the season. Rookie out of Iowa. He had one of the best rookie seasons for a tight end in NFL history. He had 10 regular season touchdowns. They're second most by a rookie, by a tight end, trailing only who?
A rookie? Aaron Hernandez. Shout out my boy.
No, not Aaron Hernandez. Mike Ditka with 12 in 1961. But, he didn't score last week against the Bucs, but he still went off. 9 catches, 65 yards. I think against the yeah.
He scored in the wild card round.
Yeah, he scored in the wild card round. And like you said, 24th ranked defense for the Oh, no, that was on the other side. But I just think, like I said, I think it's going to be over. And I think the 49ers have shown us, even last week against the Packers, it is susceptible in the middle of the field as well. So I think he could create space. He's already a top 5 tight end as a rookie. I agree. I think we see a lot of points from both offenses. And at plus money, one of the best tight ends in the league, I think he finds the end zone. So I'm going to go Sam Laporta anytime touchdown. Hey, give me my boy. They just signed him, Zach Ertz, plus 850 anytime touchdown. They didn't sign him just to block. He's going to find the end zone, too. That's just a little like pizza bet, but plus 850 is crazy. They didn't sign this man for nothing, you know. He's going to get a few balls.
Their backup tight end got hurt last week, so they signed him just in case.
My man Zach Ertz is going to get in that end zone. But I do like the Debo. I think the number is a little low just because of injury. But, yeah, man, I like the 49ers and my money is on them. But if I'm honest, I would love to see the Lions in the Super Bowl. It'd be just a really good story. Dan Campbell versus the Ravens. Ooh.
I saw a thing like the fans really want Baltimore versus Detroit, but the NFL wants Chiefs 49ers.
Again. Yeah, we will see. But Elvis, good luck. Should be a really good weekend, and cherish these because after tomorrow we only have one game left. Let's transition back to the NBA. Like I said, big slate tonight, or throughout the day. Rivalry week. You got Philly versus Denver, Houston versus the Nets, Miami versus the Knicks. Got some rivalries. You got Lakers versus Golden State as well. Yeah, what are your plays for today? We got 10 games.
Yeah, Dale, let's just start it off. At 3 o'clock, your New York Knicks taking on the Miami Heat at the Mecca, Dale. Give me the Knicks minus 4.5 at home, Dale. The Miami Heat, they're good, but the Knicks is just playing at a high level. One of the best records in NBA, I think, since like the start of the year or mid-December, something like that, Dale. And then give me Julius Randle over 23.5 points, Dale. He's been averaging in the last 5 games just slightly over 23.5 points, Dale, against Miami and their defense. I just don't see Bam or anybody else down low able to stop Julius Randle consistently. If Bam gets in foul trouble, Julius might go over 30. So give me Julius Randle over 23.5 points. Knicks minus 4.5 at home, minus 5.5, whatever you find it at. Another marquee great matchup, Dill. Philadelphia 76ers taking off the Denver Nuggets, Dill. Last time these two teams played, I took Joel Embiid over points, and I'm doing that again. It don't matter where it's at. It could be at 40. Give me the over. He's going to chew up Jokic every time he gets to shoot to prove he's the best player in the world. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers plus 5.5 on the road. Joel Embiid over 36.5 points. I'm not saying he's going for 70. All I'm saying is he's damn well going over this number. Boston Celtics taking on the Los Angeles Clippers in Boston, Dill. Clippers best record in the NBA since December 15th, Dill. Give me the Clippers plus 7.5 on the road, Dill. I just feel like the Clippers, they've been rolling the Celtics. Don't get me wrong, Celtics is one of the best teams in the league, but right now the Clippers are fucking rolling. Give me the Clippers plus the points. Sprinkle something a little on the money line as well. And then my last game of the night, Dill, to be honest, this might pick, but guess what, Dill? I'm going to roll with them. Give me the Los Angeles Lakers plus 114 on the money line versus the Golden State Warriors in Golden State. I understand Draymond's back, Steph. He's probably a little pissed off he didn't get a starting all-star job, but I think the Lakers are turning around slowly. They're getting a little better defensively, Dill. Give me the Lakers plus 112. As of right now, they're plus 104 on the money line. So if you want, get it now before they get to either even or minus.
For me, I'm going to go right back to the well with Jalen Duran over 11.5 rebounds. He's just a rebounding machine. He didn't get there last time for us on Wednesday. He got 11. We got fucked by the hook, but I think he has another bounce back game here. He's just a rebounding machine. I'll lay the 5 with the Knicks as well. One of the best ATS teams with the Knicks against one of the worst ATS teams in Miami. We are home. I think it's a good matchup for us. I like Isaiah Hartenstein over 10.5 rebounds. If he plays, he's smacking this. I know Mitchell Robinson's been in and out, but Isaiah Hartenstein, he's just a rebounding machine as well. Over 10.5 rebounds for him. That Milwaukee-New Orleans game, I was leaning New Orleans plus 6.5. They have been playing a little better basketball. I didn't get there. I still lean New Orleans. And for that Los Angeles game, Give me LeBron over 30.5 points, rebounds. It's a combo, points and rebounds over 30.5. I see 31.5. That's fine too. And remember, one thing about LeBron, when he goes up against Steph Curry, he shows up no matter what it is. Over the last 3 seasons, LeBron's averaging 29.5 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 5.7 assists in head-to-head matchups against Golden State and Steph Curry. That's 39.9 rebounds and assists. So, I mean, he's just, whenever he goes, he shows up. You know, they both listed him on the injury report. I think they will play. So even, they've been consistently, despite injuries throughout the season. And if AD misses, LeBron's just going to see an uptick, obviously, in volume. So I like the matchup against the Warriors in this one. And Warriors, one of the worst defenses in the league, and they've been mid in rebounding as well. So I think LeBron has a big game, rebounding the ball and scoring the ball. So going to go over 30.5 points and rebounds for the GOAT. Any last words before we get up out of here? What are you doing over the weekend? What are you doing for watching the games?
I'll probably Sunday. I'll probably be going to my man Papo house. Shout out my man Papo. Watch the game. Dylan's going to Maryland. Usually me and Dylan watches the game, so it's cool. I hope Dylan has a great time. Shout out Dan the man as well. And Dylan, just watch competitive games. I don't want to see no blowouts. Hey, if the 49ers and Lions game is a blowout, long as it goes over, I don't give a fuck. But realistically, I want to see nip and tuck close games. Everything less than a 4-point game so the Chiefs cover.
Yeah. Elvis, thank you so much. That is going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we will see you guys on Wednesday. We'll recap all the games. Maybe we'll look a little towards the Pro Bowl. We got that week off until the Super Bowl, but we'll have NBA plays as well. So make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Wednesday and Saturday morning on youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, comment below who you be betting on this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.